as in the plain opposite set between the patterns of Phil, Laban, and Hezeroth and Hezehab. The rules that God gave. He had to call it out to them. So probably he was getting old. He probably wouldn't be able to go with them to Canaan, the promised land, as God has already told him that he won't allow him to go there. And as we see these statements in Deuteronomy, we sort of can think about things and see that if this is really the case for us, this is actually the case, where the rules and regulations are something that we are bound to live with. We are bound to find out if it does have any impact on our life that has made us become violent, that has made us become very much aggressive, or that has made us become confused, or has made us become faith believers. The idea is that there is something in our life that we have generated in our life that we have to deal with. So here I am, Deuteronomy, and I'm pointing out these things out. Here I am in the Quran, the books of Surah, and I'm pointing out to you. What do you make of it? What do you make of it? Today, if I say we want to we want to be able to have a peaceful world, we look at the problems that we face. Where did those problems come from? If we know where they come from, then we cut that source off. And if it's coming from religion and culture, we have to cut it off. And I says these things, believe me, deserve to be in a museum, an exhibition center, in an exhibition, a place where it can be studied, it can be looked into, it can be put as historical, memorable things, which people will look at it and build life from that kind of sense, but not necessarily adapting into it, but sort of admiring it in certain ways of what our life has been some time ago, ancestral, through our ancestors. But if we're going to sort of continue, even today, people taking in the rules and regulations as it is to be the words of God, and we take it deeply into ourselves and abide by it, then we have an issue. And the issue is what we're dealing with, because those times the life there was different. The approaches, you can tell people just jump into another countries and take over people's countries. If you have the power to do so, you do so. Are we supposed to live life the same way today? It's not going. Even the laws that we have today even disallow that. But the world has now become a place where it's now owned by others and not others. Now, those who own it also do not declare themselves as if they own it. They declare themselves publicly as if they are only in the position of what? Managing the life resources in order to sort of make it usable, and as long as it can be used somehow in the sense of preserving and managing well to sort of be ready for any eventualities or that kind of thing. So I can walk away, I can do the things I maybe my ancestors used to do, walk into a place and taking what you need, or being part of anything, or joining anything you want to join. You can't do that. If I had that as a choice now, I probably wouldn't bother myself too much. But that isn't the issue. What steps can I take to fulfill my life's need? The needs in my life. I have to join the queue. I have to do whatever it is that I probably wouldn't want to do in order to be able to live my life, or in order to please my needs. Please myself with my needs. You can imagine how hard that can be. A place that belongs to all of us, a place that I am entitled to everything. But I can't do that, because that's how some humans have, made the world to become. All most of the time can be related to say that God is the one who did that. Now I have my doubt that it is Him who did that, and that is what I'm proving. I'm doing all this. These things are being used to look as if He did that. God hasn't do anything. So if He did it, that would have been the issue. But if He did it, then that is the thing. But I don't think so. I am doubting because the book haven't got a strong, convincing, presentation for that to be concluded as of yet. And I don't think there would be until there's something fall from Him Himself, or he reveals it by Himself. But before then, all I can say is that if I have my way of going straight to the deal and say, okay, I need this for my life and I can have it, without going through the means of exchange whereby I have to have something to to get what I need to get, even with a price. Sometimes it has to be more worthy than what you can even afford for. And others can reach out to whatever it is they can, because at the end of the day they have the worth to do they're worthy to do that. And that isn't fair necessarily. It isn't fair, but that's how it is. The strong and the craftiness of people, or those who can, have taken over. Now, what God would do that then? Why should I believe or have that faith that this is the intentions of God? Let's say if I know that this is the intentions of God, should I be so relaxed about it and see it as a comfortable thing, as a good thing? I don't think so. Now if there is a proof, that's a different thing, but there isn't. There are others who are making it that and frightens people away, because people get to the state where they are frightened to think that, hey, if I defect, or somehow I deviate from what the cause is, I might have some consequences coming upon my life. So those consequences that I wouldn't want to go through, then I'm bound to sort of advise myself well, and humble myself, or put myself in a situation that I probably in so many sense I wouldn't want to do. So that becomes as a service in that kind of thing. So when I'm looking at the world, I'm looking at life today, my views can be looked down upon by the other. It might be accepted by others, but it makes no impact until it depends on the weight that it brings. It depends on the influence that it sort of carries. It depends on how convincing it becomes. It's the same way if this book has convinced people, but this book does not do the convincing by itself. There are people who are taking it, picking things in there, tests in there, disregarding the other tests, which is meant to work together, but they disregard other tests, taking some tests, and they are able to convince others to sort of believe in the entire book. The mistake that we are doing is what is hitting us back. It's like throwing a ball against the wall and it's coming back to you. If you have thrown it into an open space, it would have gone all the way. But if you throw it against the wall, it comes back to you. The very actions that is being taken by the presenters is almost like the ball they are hitting. They're throwing it not to an empty space, they are throwing it to hit a wall. Why are they throwing to hit a wall? Because if you sort of if you have an idea, an idea which is not consumable, it definitely will hit back to you. Anything that can be consumed, if it's a very good thing, it gets dissolved because it's dissolvable. It goes into the body, goes to the sense take it, it becomes part of us. It doesn't hit you back. But if the ball hits you back, that means the ball hit the wall. If your message keeps running back to you, or keeps, bringing problems to you, then somehow it's not being dissolved. It is not, sinking in. It is hitting the wall and it's getting back to you. It's giving you the creeps that you're having, the difficulties that you go.